It's 7/3/2016. I'm doing another video where it's handheld camera because I'm going to switch back and forth with stuff on the computer screen. So, but this video is going to be talking about what happens in a single day, just doing one thing. How does the world government respond to that? Now remember, guys, this is every day for me for 6 years that they've been targeting with the frequencies. Now, one guy they had on Jesse Ventura's show, it was 13 years. I can show you guys on the internet, one will say 8 years, one will say 10 years. And they don't let up, guys. Now, the reason they don't let up because this is going to be the mark of the beast that the Bible talks about. When it talks about everybody being forced to take a mark in their right hand or their forehead, and says you can't buy or sell without that mark, but you also can't be saved once you take that mark. And the reason for that is to be able to control the person mentally and physically. And that's all there now. It's all patented now. They're doing it to thousands of people worldwide. It's not in question at all anymore. And there's no question about it at all. And so the frequencies are on you 24/7. I have a radio frequency meter, and as you'll see in the other videos, and at any time I can put it up. I mean, I have frequencies coming out all the time. But they also show you without the meter, they respond to what you're saying or doing. And I'll show you how they responded to. Let me just look for the title here. Hang on. If I can find it here now. Yeah, the video is called Glenn Beck Exposes a Private Fed, Gets Fired by Fox. Now that's 39 minutes 40 seconds in length, just to make sure when you look it up you find the right one, because the world system likes to put out videos that are similar to the actual video so that people end up watching their own video. And so again, it's Glenn Beck Exposes a Private Fed, Gets Fired by Fox. Now what happened there was Glenn Beck had a guy on, and he did this on Fox News. And the guy wrote a book, you know, showing that the Federal Reserve is privately owned. There's no question about that. Remember, the world government system runs our system here in our country. And part of that is the Federal Reserve, and it's private. And you know, you'll have the top families in the world government, and they're involved with running the Federal Reserve. So anyway, so all I did, I sent that video to somebody. That's all I did. And now let me show you what happens just because I sent that out. Let me get the video up here. All right. Now this was shot on 6/23/2016, and let me show you here. Let me fast forward this a little bit here. This is what it's like when we back this up a little bit. Dan, I just had to show you this video. This is what it's like when they just crank it up. The pressure on the head is just incredible. Now there's a reason for this. I'll show you why they're doing this today. Okay, now that's all I'm going to show that video, because the rest is just kind of covering as to why they did it, what we've been talking about here. Now, so the people that aren't familiar with the frequencies are going to look at that and they're going to say, oh, so that's what they do when you do something they don't want you to do. Guys, that's one frequency out of thousands of frequencies they have to affect the body mentally and physically. So on this particular day, that's the frequency they chose. And that's just putting an extreme amount of pressure on the head where you're almost grinding your teeth. You're just like, you're almost biting your teeth down. It's just a lot of pain and a lot of pressure. That's not what they do every time. That's one choice they have out of many, many frequencies. Now I want to say this again. The Hummers, the military Hummers that have a big disc on the top. They'll put, half a dozen people 100 yards down. They'll point this at them and turn it on. And those people instantly, they'll run left or right within a second or so. And what that is that's a frequency being sent to the brain to tell it that your skin is burning. It matches the function of the brain. They've been able to figure out the functioning of the brain with frequencies. They've figured out the brain operates that way. And so you can duplicate those and tell the brain things just as if your skin was actually burning. That same feeling happens in the brain. And so there again, that's one frequency to tell that your skin is on fire. What you're witnessing there with me in pain, that was one frequency on that particular day. There it was on for about, maybe 20 minutes before I turned the camera on. And once I turned the camera on, I took my radio frequency meter and I was showing frequencies coming out of the body. And then they started turning it down. So within a short time, that pain you're witnessing there was gone. Within a short time of me turning on the video camera, probably a minute or so, even though it was there for 20 minutes before that, or roughly. Now, they could have turned that on for 10 seconds, or they could leave it on for 10 days or 10 months. As long as that frequency is on, and it's computer run, so it's not like somebody's making an effort to leave it on for 10 days or 10 months. They just simply have the computer sending you that frequency on that, to make you feel that way. So it doesn't matter how long you leave it on. It's not like it's a big deal. It's one frequency, guys. I got to emphasize that. There's thousands of frequencies that affect the body in different ways. So I'm just making this video to show what happens as a targeted person. That was because I sent out that video saying that the Federal Reserve is privately owned and privately run. And that's all it takes. It's been like this for 6 years, guys. You're monitored 24/7. This is going to be hard for people to believe, but trust me, I've researched all this stuff for years. Through the chipping of the body, they can see what you see and they hear what you hear. And so the monitoring of the body, or monitoring of the person to where they go and what they do is absolutely nothing. Because they simply can follow you because they see what you see. And people will say, no, that just can't happen. But guys, that goes back decades. They first started doing it to animals, and they could see what the animals could see. That's part of the chipping. I will go into other things that they're able to do with this that's going to sound unbelievable, but it's all there. And most of the stuff is patented. You can find the patents on this stuff. It's all there. There's dozens and dozens and dozens of websites of people being targeted all around the world. And some have as many as 5,000 people registered on one website. There's chapters in every country. This is not even close to being a conspiracy, guys. It's 100% operating today. And like I say, I'm convinced this will be the mark of the beast. It's not the official mark of the beast yet because we're not there yet. Although it feels like we're getting close based off of things that I see happening. I mean, when I say close, the last 7 years in the Bible are called the tribulation period. And it seems like we're getting there, but I can't guarantee that. But this does seem like it is that technology. Like I said, the Bible describes it as you can't buy or sell, but then it says you cannot be saved once you take this mark. That's a big deal. You're talking billions of people on the planet and nobody can be saved. It's because they'll be controlling the people mentally and physically. You won't even think about accepting God. It's the control is that strong. So I will try to explain that in other videos down the road here as to how advanced this chipping of the people is with the frequencies. But again, I'm going to keep this video relatively short. That was what you saw, one frequency being sent. Now imagine once everybody's chipped, this will be hooked up. You'll be hooked up to a computer, and it'll be one command, and everybody in the world will look like I look there, sitting in that chair. And that might sound bad to people, and it is bad. But trust me, the chipping of frequencies get much, much worse than that. If that's all they did to the people, that wouldn't be bad at all. Even though that's agonizing, trust me, it gets much, much worse than that. And I'll try to explain that in other videos. So I think I'll stop this one here. But I'm just putting on videos, I'm telling you when they were dated, and most of these were taken over the last 2 years, even though they've been targeting for 6 years. When I first tried to get on video for like the first 3 or 4 years, they would instantly turn the frequency off. And at that time they were zapping me, using frequencies in a very light way. And maybe that's why they turned it off. And as they started using these frequencies at a much higher level and affecting the body in many different ways, maybe they didn't want me to pick up on what they were actually doing, the many different things they were doing. And if they would have turned off the frequencies 100%, maybe they figured out what it is. If you're having an issue with something with your body or you feel a certain way, you say, oh, it's got to be a frequency because it's gone now. When the meter went down to 0. And maybe they didn't want me to detect that because for some reason they started letting me get these high numbers on the meter and let me get that on film, which they didn't do, like I said, for 3 or 4 years. So anyways, I'm going to stop this here, and I hope to get out all the things they've done to me in the last 6 years. And even though that stuff is devastating, it's going to be a small percentage of what they can do because it's thousands and thousands of frequencies, because they can affect any square inch of the body and make you feel basically any way they want you to feel. All the emotions are there. Let me read this from Dr. Ronnie Kilby. I wasn't prepared for this, but I just thought of this now. Dr. Ronnie Kilby, MD, was the chief medical officer for Finland, from what I understand. That's the position she held. And she was putting out all kinds of videos on the targeted people and what they can do with the frequencies. And she knew the advanced stages of these frequencies and what they can do. And she wrote in this paper how many people realize what it actually means to be chipped. Total loss of privacy, total outside control of the person's physical body functions, mental, emotionally, and thought process for the rest of his life. And that's what it seems like it is, that they never let up on it until you die. But the point is, look at what she says. It's total control over the person, mental, emotional, thought process. Now that's the words of an MD, Dr. Ronnie Kilby, the chief medical officer for Finland. Now think about that, guys. her reputation was on the line. If that wasn't true, she would look like as being a little nutty or something. She couldn't have that as a medical doctor. She was simply speaking the truth, and that's what I've actually witnessed, this control. So I know she was right on when she says that. So I'm going to try to get this information little by little to the people, what they can do. And like I said, it's got to be the mark of the beast in the Bible, or at least a part of that mark of the beast. Because they're not going to, the world government's not going to let this technology go to waste. They're already doing thousands of people, and they'll eventually do you, your children, your parents. They're going to do everybody, guys. And the world government is evil to the core, just like the Bible says it will be. And trust me, I've researched them, they are. So anyways, I'm going to stop there, and thanks for watching.